Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kenny. It's a beautiful sunny day here today, folks. Relatively, the temperature is just right. I mean, it's a beautiful fall day and I'm loving it. It's a break from the heat that we've had for such a long time. So listen, we've got a special treat for you. We want you to hang around and I'm going to show you another beautiful gun. So I'm not going to waste any time. I am going to dive right into it. So listen, check this out. Check this out. Let me show you what this is. Now this is a very unique gun. I'm going to start right here and just show it to you. Very slowly. Now this thing has got a 30-inch barrel on it, so let me show it to you. Take a look at this. That thing looks like it's long enough to reach halfway across a room, doesn't it? You say, Kenny, what is that? Have you ever seen one like that? Have you? Let me show you the other side. Flip it around and take a look. Oh my goodness, what a gun. Let me get a close-up of that. My goodness, you need to see a close-up of that. Look at that. What in the world are you talking about? What is this? That's a picture of a gun that's been used for many years. That is an authentic. I'm going to take my time and tell you what that is. You can tell that it's a single barrel. Not many of those in use anymore. And you can tell it's got its scars. Take a look at that. That's just a sign of aging. That is a genuine Winchester Model 37 steel-built, single-barrel, 12-gauge shotgun. Now I'm going to give you some history on this gun. I'm going to show you the features that it's got. I'm going to talk a little bit about what it was used for. So I believe this is going to be an informative video for you, so you don't want to miss a sec of it. So you hang around. Now, like I told you, this is a 37, authentic 37 model Winchester. It's a 12 gauge steel built. Now, let me start with the history of this gun. This gun was originally made, it was originally produced in 1936. That's right, 1936. They made these from 1936 through 1963. And I believe they made 1,554 of these from 1936 through 1963. Now, in 1968, they replaced this with a 370 Canadian-made shotgun. That was in 1968. They stopped making these in 63, but they replaced it in 1968 with the 370 Canadian-made model. And then in 1973, they started making the 37A, which it had an automatic shell ejector. In a moment, I'll show you what that is if you don't know what I'm talking about. But this gun belonged to a man. And I'm going to tell you, the man was born in 1931. And this was his first gun. Now, I don't know what age he was when he got the gun. He either had it handed down from his grandfather or it was handed down to him by his dad. I'm not for sure. But he was a kid when he obtained this. And like I said, it was his very first gun. He was born in 1931. Now, folks, when these made the debut, we were in the Great Depression. The country was in the Great Depression in that year, 1936. And this gun, it would have been a great, great luxury at that particular time to have gotten your hands on something like this, especially a kid. And I'm thinking he was probably maybe 10, 11, or 12 when they gave it to him, his first gun. And he kept this gun right up through his adult life. He kept it right up through the time that he passed away. And then, of course, he handed it to his son. I'm going to tell you this gun over the years. I knew this gun when I was a child. I knew it when I was a child. I can remember seeing the man that owned this gun. I won't mention his name, but, you know, he was a hunter. Back in that day, let me tell you very quickly, back in that day, this was what we would call a squirrel knocker. This man hunted squirrel, he hunted groundhogs, he hunted grouse. Mainly here in the hills of Kentucky, that was the primary source type of game that you hunted at that particular time. We didn't have any deer, we didn't have any bobcats, we didn't have any turkeys, we didn't have any elk, etc., etc., etc. It's mainly groundhog, grouse, squirrels, and raccoons. But this gun was used for hunting squirrels. And I'm going to tell you, let me show you the barrel. That is a steel-built 30-inch barrel. Now notice this right here. There. Let me put a load in it. That is a Super X steel shot. Right there. Number 6. Super X steel shot. Let's put it in, okay? Look. So simple. Now, to get it out, look. See, it just pops out. Now, the 37A had that automatic shell ejector right here. You just opened it up, and at the moment of opening, it would pop out. That was the 37A. But this one has got the old style ejector that just simply opens it up and you pull it out. Now, getting back to this, back in the Great Depression, of course you remember if you've read your history and you know your history, you know that things just simply was super tight back in those days. And if you got something like this, that was a luxury probably that about 9 out of 10 people just simply did not have or could not afford. Wages were very cheap. I can remember my dad talking about how that they worked for pennies. I mean, it would cost, I think this gun, back in that day, it cost, I think, $29.95. That's right. $29.95. And the average person that was maybe on the job back then would work for an entire month to get that type of wage. You heard me right. And some of them only got about half that much, depending on the type of work that they did. But that was the wage back then. And like I said, this was a luxury that very few people could afford. But somehow, this man that owned this gun, he obtained it at a very, very young age. So he kept it all of these years. He passed away, I believe, in 2013. And his son took this gun. Now listen, look at the scars. Now, of course, this has got the walnut stock, but over the years, they have put a real dark finish on that. And of course, that original walnut is not near that dark. Of course, you know that. And this lock, look at this. See that? Do it again. That lock. That's an authentic Winchester. And I'm going to say something about this gun. Back at that point in time, it put the food on the table. You know something? Back then, you either shot it and ate it, or you raised it in the field and you ate it. For the most part, they did both. They raised it in the ground on the farm, or they went out and they took it with this from the wild. This thing is steel built, and Winchester declares it right on the barrel. Steel built. Now, don't you wish that they made quality like this today? Don't you wish that they did that? I'll bet, and listen, I'm speculating, but I think I would. In fact, I feel really comfortable saying that over the years that this man used this gun and hunted with it, he would almost feel an 18-wheeler with the squirrels, the grouse, and the groundhogs, and the raccoons that has been shot and killed with this gun. And I believe that's a safe number. Give or take a few, of course, you know what I'm saying? But this gun, folks, Winchester, was put on the map by a gun like this. Winchester was put into the big leagues with a gun like this. Of course, years back then, there were pumps and there were automatics, but who could afford one? Because, yeah, this one here at $29.95 back then, wow. Now, I know that the man that owns this, I want to give a big shout out to him. A big shout out to my nephew, Buck. My nephew, Buck. He inherited this gun from his dad. And he's got plans to totally restore this gun. And you know what? When he gets that done, we'll let you see it again. The new version, the new restoration of this gun. But this is an authentic Winchester. You can hardly find them anymore, but I'm going to let you see. Now, this gun hasn't been shot since he passed away. And you're going to see it shot. I'm going to shoot 3 or 4 times. So listen, I give this old gun 5 stars for a long history of use. You can tell a gun that has got the use. You know, it doesn't sit around in a closet and gather dust. It is put to use, and you can see the scars that's on this thing. You can see the scars. Now that shows me that this gun has been used, and it's put the meat on the table for all of these years, and it still works today, and you're going to see it just in a few secs. Like I said, 5 stars I give to this old gun. What's my overall analysis of it? Solid, durable, accurate, made for the long shot, quality, made in the USA. built to last, and it's still last, and it's still shooting, and you're gonna see it. So you hang around and we're gonna show you how it shoots. All right, we are ready to shoot this gun. And let me tell you, I'm excited to be able to shoot a classic antique like this. It's really just a beautiful experience. But I remember when I was a kid that I would see the man that owned this gun. When he came in from a hunt, he would have a massive, massive load of squirrels on a stick, carry them in his hand, had them on a stick. And I'm telling you, anywhere from maybe a couple of dozen, most of the times at least a dozen, sometimes 2 dozen, that he would have on his stick. If this old gun could talk, what stories it could tell, let me tell you that. It could tell some stories over those years. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to shoot this gun. Now, let me say this to you. I've got a camera out there that's going to be very close to that target. You can't see it, but you're going to see it in the video. We're trying to improve these videos as much as possible. Listen, I've also got a link in the description box that will take you to my Patreon page. If you get a chance, check it out. Check it out. Now, also too, let me remind you, if you want to send me a comment in the box below, please do. I enjoy reading those comments, and I will read it and I will respond back to it. And don't forget, I want to take my channel to a high level, if you will, with new subscribers. So why don't you pray about becoming a subscriber to this channel? Just simply pray. God, would this be something that would really be helpful to me, that it would benefit me? And I believe it would. So prayerfully consider becoming a supporter and a subscriber to this channel. And I certainly would appreciate it. So I'm going to start over here on the left and make my way to the right. Now remember, this is not a pump, and it certainly isn't an automatic, but I'm going to shoot 4 times, and you're going to see it. So let's do it. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Remember, gone, load, and it looks like I've got 1 target left. See the massive power of that thing. And it doesn't kick that hard either, but it's so accurate. Here we go. Incidentally, I'm shooting the Colonel. I don't think he would mind. What a powerful gun that is. Let me say something to you. Thank you so much for watching. I've enjoyed bringing this to you. I appreciate you so much for watching. So you have a blessed day. Gone. Load. And it looks like I've got 1 target left. See the massive power of that thing. And it doesn't kick that hard either, but it's so accurate. Here we go. Incidentally, I'm shooting the Colonel. I don't think he would mind.